What's going on, guys? So today we're going to go over the first knife that I bought when I decided I was going to start collecting knives, and I wanted to carry around a different knife than what I had at the time, which was just a case pocket knife. Drop down in the pocket, nothing fancy. It's a Hawkbill, but you know, we all have to start somewhere, right? And cases, old cases, are still great knives. New ones are trash, but we're not going to get into that. Today is all about the Ontario Rat number 2. And I got the carbon fiber model with the coated blade, of course, in D2 steel, because who buys anything in Allstate these days? But I bought this knife about a year ago. It was around a year ago that I bought this knife and started going down the YouTube rabbit hole of Nick Shabazz and Metal Complex and Blade HQ. And I really have to say that I was pleased with this knife. I think I spent like $45, $48 for it, somewhere in that neighborhood. And when I first got it, I wasn't really sure what the fuss was about. It was just another knife, right? But the more I carried it, the more I started realizing. Now, this isn't a perfect knife. We see our blades off center a little bit there. Well, is it? Yeah, a little bit. But it's not a perfect knife, and it's not a Benchmade, and it's not a Spyderco, but it's a great entry-level knife. If you want a decent knife to carry and you don't want to spend a lot of money, an Ontario Rat 2 or a Rat 1 if you like a bigger knife are great choices. The D2 steel is awesome. The knife itself, the overall length is about 7 inches. The blade length is about 3 inches. The blade thickness is about 0.09. It's a drop point, coated blade, plain edge. Handle length is 4.125 inches. Handle thickness is 0.42 inches. And it weighs 2.75 ounces. And it's not really bad. It's fully ambidextrous with pocket clip holes on all 4 sides, so you can carry it tip up, tip down, right hand, left hand. It all works great. Thumb stud deployment, phosphor bronze washers. I mean, it's a pretty good knife, made in Taiwan, and it'll get the job done. I sharpened it the other day. That D2 steel holds a really good edge. I'm by no means any good at sharpening, and I was able to sharpen this knife relatively easy, and it is sharp. We can take one of these little pieces of paper here. Sharp, right? Now, could it be sharper? Yeah, I'm sure I've got knives that are sharper than this guy, but it works. It gets the job done, and I'm happy with it. This knife doesn't really get any carry time anymore. It's sitting around. My stepson carried it for a while. Like I said, he brought it back dull the other day, so I sharpened it up, and he'll probably take it back home with him when he comes back by. But that being said, let's get into size comparison. Take this knife, old Rat 2, lay it here, and of course we got our trusty dusty 940, also in carbon fiber. We can talk about that for a quick second now. The carbon fiber on the Rat 2, do not expect this. You know, it's different. The carbon fiber on the Benchmade, it's got more of a matte finish to it, I guess you would say, and then it's got that carbon fiber glare. The carbon fiber on this guy almost looks like a sticker, but if you take these scales off, it's carbon fiber through and through. So it's actually carbon fiber. If I bought it again, I would probably buy the G10 version, because it just doesn't do it for me with the carbon fiber the way this is. But you know, at first it was, oh, carbon fiber, and then get it and it's like, it's not what I thought it was going to be. But let's go back to the size comparison. So check out the mini bug out next to it. These are the knives that are laying here on the desk. We've got the Kaiser Envoy right here. That's right about the same exact size. The Kaiser Envoy and that Rat 2. I'd have to say they're super similar, right? And the Spyderco Tenacious. The Spyderco Tenacious is also one of the first knives I bought. I bought it used from somebody, and it had a fully serrated blade. So I ground that blade down on a cinder block and then resharpened and reprofiled and resharpened and reprofiled, and I don't know what I'm doing. I definitely didn't know what I was doing at the time, but turned into a pretty sharp little knife. It works, gets the job done. Now, I think that's enough for our size comparison. If you want to buy a Rat 2 because you haven't spent money on knives yet and you want to see what a premium knife should feel like, a Rat 2 would be a good knife to start with, because this knife doesn't have the most premium steel and most premium carbon fiber, and the liner lock is somewhat thin, you know, on it. And I mean, it's not a Benchmade, it's not a Spyderco, but this is a great knife. A very good knife. Ontario Knife Company has been manufacturing knives for over 100 years. While they may not be alone in that distinction, their ability to shift focus and adapt to the changing demands of the modern knife owner has been spot on. And I can't say I disagree with that. So, Jeff Randall created this knife here, and it's called the Rat for Randall's Adventure Training. You know, it's a collaboration with Ontario. Since then, the Essie company, I believe, is owned by Jeff Randall, or he either owns Essie or he creates a lot of knives for them. But all the Rat models from Ontario Knives is also available from Essie under a different name. So take that what you will. This guy here, it's iconic. You know, Nick Shabazz loves it, compares everything to it. It's basically, I'd say it is the best cheap knife you can get until you buy a Civivi. Now, if you buy a Civivi, you spend that extra $10, $20, then I think this knife gets outclassed every way. But if you only want to spend $30 to $40, the Ontario Rat number 2 or Rat 1 is a great selection. You got full steel liners here, liner lock. It's D2 steel, and it just works. There's really about all you can say about it. It's a pretty simple, a pretty simple EDC knife. It'll get the job done for just about any task you can ask for. It's not gonna look super flashy while doing it, but hey, if it gets the job done, that's all you can really ask for, right? If you're not a big collector and you buy this knife and then you buy another step up and another step up and another step up until eventually you're spending $300, $400, $500 a knife, and you just can't be satisfied, because that's what happened to me, and that was kicked off by this guy. I'd have to give this knife here, for the price, I'd have to give it an A-. It's nothing wrong with it as far as I can tell, and has always been a good knife for me. Easy to sharpen, simple to carry. You can carry it any which way. Like I said, fully ambidextrous, tip up or tip down, right hand or left hand. Dual thumb studs. I'm just not dually talented with my left hand. Partially today because my mini bug out bit me. I'll post a picture of that before I super glued it shut right here. But do me a favor, guys, like and subscribe if you watched this video and you enjoyed it, if you learned anything. If you're gonna buy a Rat 2, like this video. Thanks for watching and have a good day.